Well, hello, folks. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower, former 20-year minister for three of the largest denominations on the planet, 100,000 hours of Bible study invested, Bible college graduate, here to talk to you about Christianity being a fear and guilt-controlled matrix and not at all the message of the Christ. Glad to have you here. Today, we're going to be doing a video tour of the Georgia Guidestones. I went I guess it's been a couple of months. It's been about a month ago now that I went to the Georgia Guidestones. Now, we did have some really bad winds, so the sound quality wasn't the best. And I took a lot of pictures, so we're going to go through the pictures that I took personally and show you these pictures. Unfortunately, on Twitter and on Facebook, you're not going to be able to see those pictures. But I did want to say hello. I did want to salute you for seeking after truth and invite you to come over to the YouTube channel, Jeff Daugherty Show on YouTube. Come over right now. I see Big Teddy Smooth over on Twitter. If you come over right now to the YouTube, you'll be able to see all the pictures. And it's at Jeffrey Daugherty Show on YouTube. Just go on to YouTube, look up Jeff Daugherty, look up the Christian Whistleblower, and it'll bring you right to it. And you don't want to see me talk about pictures. So I did want to come on to Twitter and Facebook real quickly and say hi. Come on over to the YouTube channel at Jeff Daugherty Show. We've got a great show planned. A video tour of the Georgia Guidestones. I was there 2 days before Christmas and took a bunch of pictures. We're going to go through those pictures and take a look at the Guidestones. So we'll see you real quickly over on YouTube. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, saluting you for being here on Twitter and on Facebook. And we'll see you right over on YouTube in just a minute. And of course, we will see you back here again real soon. Take care, folks. So, as we say goodbye to our folks over on Twitter, which we have done, we said goodbye to our folks over on Twitter. And you know what? I think my volume was muted, so they didn't even get to hear it. But hey, there you go. You can't always have everything you want. We're trying to let people know, and perhaps they will know and come over here. But here we are. And if you'll remember, on December the 23rd, I did go to the Georgia Guidestones, and that was it wasn't the first, it was actually the second. It was actually the second big part that we did. And here's Big Teddy Smooth over here on YouTube as well. Good to see you, Big Teddy. It wasn't the first. Well, the first trip we made was to Coral Castle. Second trip was to the Georgia Guidestones. And we had some sound issues. I didn't have the lavalier mic, which I now have. That works very well on my phone. So now we've got that. So going forward, as we go out on the road, we will have a much better sound. And I said that to let you know that it is your support of this work that makes those type of trips available. St. Augustine, Brown Mountain Lights, a lot of things coming up. And we're going to be doing that. And we're going to be getting out more and the more. So the more rods that you purchase, the more Mistec bands. I got a big order, just went out today. We're going to have Halo back on to talk about them. The more the intention candles, the more counseling you get from me. Not only are you helped, you are actually helping me help you, because we're getting out to places where you can't go, showing you things that you're not going to be able to see, and making the world come more alive to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Let's talk about the Georgia Guidestones. I'm going to be showing you pictures. I'll try to check back in with the chat room so we can follow up and answer the questions that people are asking about the Georgia Guidestones. So let's give you an idea and understanding of where exactly the Georgia Guidestones are. This will give you some perspective. Now, I'm down here in Clearwater, Florida. Of course, you're looking at the United States. And as we zoom in, this gives you an idea where the Georgia Guidestones are. They're obviously in the state of Georgia. So I made that trip all the way from Florida up to the Georgia Guidestones just because I wanted to see them, just because you wanted to see them. And I mean, it is not on the way to anywhere, folks. Atlanta's way over here, right? Atlanta's way over here. And you're just in the middle of nowhere. And that speaks to the reason why I think they were put there. And we'll talk about this, because if you look at this, folks, there's no roads getting there. And this is part of the story. There it is on the way to nowhere. And there's absolutely no reason whatsoever to put these Guidestones out here where they are, literally in the middle of nowhere. And it doesn't get, you don't, there's a little town there, but folks, it is just crazy how isolated these things are as we continue to swoop in on them. You can see just, and I was on this road and I flew past this because I didn't even see them. And ladies and gentlemen, I was looking for them. I flew right past them, had to go down and turn around. And the Georgia Guidestones, here they are. The Georgia Guidestones here, whoops, minus. Here they are. These are the Georgia Guidestones, as close as Google will get you, I guess. Yeah, that's as close as Google will get you. But they really are out in the middle of a field, out in the middle of nowhere. And there's absolutely no reason for anybody to put these Guidestones out here where they are, except for the reason that I think that I'm going to offer up to you for why in the world they were put where they are put. So let's go ahead and take a look and let's see the pictures from the Georgia Guidestones. I think they're interesting. I think they're powerful. I think you're going to like them. And here we go. There's a couple extra pictures on here that aren't of the Georgia Guidestones. There's one of Bella Chartrand, who we met at the and there's the Coral Castle ones we did. And then here's the Graceland ones we did. So see, we're trying to go and show you places and things that you can't get to yourself. Bella Chartrand, of course, she's been on television. She was at our Extravaganza of Enlightenment. But anyway, let's get into the Georgia Guidestones. And before we even take a look at them up close, let's take a look at some of the things that this is on the ground there by the Guidestones. And it kind of gives you an orientation as to, what is in the picture or actually what is on the grounds. So I think if I do this, I can blow it up a little bit. And it just tells us exactly what to look at. It tells us, about on this side of the Guidestones is written Babylonian cuneiform. On this side is written Classical Greek. On this side is written Sanskrit. On this side is written Egyptian hieroglyphics. It shows us that how it's oriented north, south, east, west. It shows us some of the features of it. There's a channel through the stone that indicates the celestial pole, and I've got a picture of that we'll have coming up. There's a horizontal slot, which indicates the annual travel of the sun. Pardon me. There's a sunbeam through the capstone, which marks noontime throughout the year. By R.C. Christian, which is a pseudonym. They're not saying who actually created the stones. I'm gonna give you my opinion here in a minute. And the sponsors are a small group of Americans who seek the age of reason. I think that's a little bit of a clue as to who created these things. And beneath this slab of, I don't know if this is concrete or if this is granite. This might just be concrete, maybe granite. I can't remember. There's a time capsule that's supposed to be open in the future. They didn't actually put a date. The languages on the Guidestones, as we look at the Guidestones, you'll see these. On this stone, it has Russian on one side, Chinese on the other, which is kind of interesting that Russia and China were put together. Arabic and Hebrew, interesting, they were put together. English and Spanish put together. Swahili and Hindi put together. And I think this just tells you where they were, who made them. Information available at the Elberton Granite Museum, an exhibit which was closed. I tried to go by there and find out about it. They looked at me like I was crazy. I don't imagine they have many people that actually come in and say, hey, tell me about these Guidestones. They're kind of an embarrassment or there's a lack of interest from the locals. Let's put it that way, to be even, it just is a very big lack of interest. And again, this just shows us the languages of the Guidestones. And we're going to show you those up close and personal. But I'm standing there taking these pictures. Again, it shows you, that looks like it's, that looks to me like it's concrete. That doesn't look granite, but I may be wrong. Let these Guidestones, let these be Guidestones to an age of reason. Interesting. So let's take a look at them. So here's kind of your classic picture of the Guidestones. That's what they look like. When you see me standing there, I come up to about here, I think. So it gives you an idea. I'm like 5'10". Let's say I'm 6 foot, make me feel good. 18. They're like 20, 25 feet tall. If you include the capstone, they're probably 30 feet tall or so, maybe a little more. Here's the horizontal slot that talks about tracking the sun, and you'll be able to see the vertical slot up here through which the noonday sun is tracked. And I mean, it really is a fascinating place. And of course, I can't do this the easy way because it wants to be difficult. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, it's got to be exactly back to the original size, or they won't let you advance. All righty, so here's another look. Of course, this is a different language, and we'll make this one larger so you can see it as well. This is a different language. This looks like the Hebrew, and I think that's the Sanskrit there. I'm not an expert in these languages, so maybe somebody knows better than me, but I know that's Hebrew over on this side. And this is probably, I believe, the Sanskrit over here. I'm not 100% sure again. But anyway, this gives you an idea of these things. And it gives you an idea they're out in the middle of a field again, in the middle of nowhere. And here is what would this be? I don't know what languages these are. But it's interesting, too. You almost forget to look up here on the top and see this. That almost looks like Greek to me. Very interesting. This, I'm not sure what language that is. Not sure what language this is. Or that's Espanol, isn't it? I believe that is Espanol. So we've solved that mystery. And as we continue on, we're going to get to where we can actually read them in English. Okay, here's the English Russia version. And I want to call your attention to something. I was told this by several of the locals. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's just a bad story, but here's your Egyptian, or that looks like Sumerian. That's not Egyptian. I believe that's Sumerian. And you see the stain here. This is when I wish I had a drone, and I may get a drone. A drone may be a worthwhile investment for the NCK Christian Whistleblower Gospel Truth Jeff Daugherty show. It might be. Because I was told that some people came out, scaled these things, and sacrificed an animal up here on top, and that this is blood runoff from the sacrifice of the animal. Whether that's true or not, I really can't say. It looks like blood. I mean, you can see the copper residue, and of course, blood is, iron base. If it was Mr. Spock's blood, it would be copper. You can see the iron residue. Very, very interesting stuff. But as you can see, let's just take a look at this right now. On the Georgia Guidestones, of course, there are some words written. Maintain humanity under 500,000, under 500 million. 500, that's 500 million, right? Yeah. Maintain humanity under 500 million. I'm a Bible college graduate, not a math major. In perpetual balance with nature. But right now there's 7 or 8 billion. So what do you do with the other people that you're obviously going to have to get rid of? Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language. Rule passion, faith, and tradition in all things with tempered reason. I really like that one. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. I think this gives us a little bit of insight into who put these up. Let nations rule eternally, solving external disputes in a world court. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. I think, again, this speaks to who put them up. Balance personal rights with social duties. I think this speaks to who put them up. Prize truth, beauty, and love. Seeking harmony with the infinite. I think this speaks to who put them up. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. So, some of it sounds very New World Order-ish. Of course, this population guideline here, which is speculated many to say, and its relative closeness to Atlanta, many have speculated that Ted Turner put these up. I say no. We'll talk about that later. This is more New World Order type stuff. This is kind of New World Order-ish. But the core of these things, I think, speaks to who put them up. Rule, passion, faith, tradition, protect peoples and nations, avoid petty laws, balance personal rights, prize truth, beauty, love. I think that speaks to who I believe put them up, and we'll talk about that as we move on. Here's another look at those. Another look at those for you, so you can see them in a full setting. You can see that person in the background there. It gives you some type of an idea of the scale of the Guidestones. And that gives you a whole view of it. And you can take a minute there and just look. I'll take a little drink. But there were a couple of other people out there. So that gives you an idea of the Georgia Guidestones, up close and personal. Here's the Russian version. Here's another look. I was trying to get a better look to see if that really looked like blood. And it really does look like blood. It really does. It looks like blood. Again, I don't know if that's a local's legend, but it does have the iron, the rust, something that came down there that was thick and iron-based. I don't know. Maybe it was blood. Maybe somebody did sacrifice an animal up there. I don't know. It had to be a rather large animal to produce that amount of blood. But that's just one of the pieces of lore. Don't know if it's actually true or not. But there you go. That's the lore. And this gives you a great look at the Egyptian hieroglyphics up here. And I mean, hieroglyphics to me are just amazing. Look at that. You got some Egyptian hieroglyphics. You got some Chinese over here. You got some, that looks like Hindi over here, maybe. And where else in the world do you find these languages linked up? It's crazy. Just a crazy place. It really is. Here's a good view of the Chinese. Here's a good view of the Hindi, I believe it is. If I'm wrong, don't, get all upset because I could be wrong. The Hebrew. And of course, I think this is Sanskrit. Again, I don't know for sure. You can do the comparisons from the earlier shots I gave you of that explanatory tablet. And you can figure out for yourself which one they are if you really want to know. I'm just wasn't that worried about it, to be honest with you. Another language. Yeah, and there's the Espanol. And you can see even on the other side of this here, some of that blood runoff or residue runoff from whatever it was. Don't know what it was, but they say it was a sacrifice. Who knows? And here is the horizontal hole. I guess if you get on the other side of that or even through here, you can track the sun on its annual motion across the sky. I believe that's what this one was for. Here's your noonday sun hole where the sun comes down. So you can see these are not small. They are rather large indeed. Here's another idea for you of their size and scale. And this is the story of the Georgia Guidestones. Let's go ahead and read it. 1979, strange guy goes in, talks to somebody at the Granite Finishing Company, indicates that he represents a group of loyal Americans living outside the state of Georgia who want to build a monument focused on the theme of conservation. And it's not really focused on the theme of conservation. They knew it was a pseudonym. And he had some funds in escrow at this bank. So they went and they built this thing. The Georgia Guidestones are 19 1/4 feet high, 17 1/3 feet in width, and have a diameter of 65 feet. somebody that's into, we should get Tricia to run those numbers. It's on Highway 77, which is a 5. They're 19.25 feet, 951 cubic feet of granite, 237,746 pounds. Very interesting stuff. I don't know. It is a mystery wrapped up in a conundrum, but it's very, very interesting nonetheless. And I mean, it reminds you of Stonehenge a little bit. Sometimes it's called the American Stonehenge, or at least the Stonehenge of the Southeast. But there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's kind of what it is. It's just that. And that is not part of the Georgia Guidestones right there. So we're going to go ahead and escape out of here and go back and talk to one another again. If I can figure out, I always have trouble figuring out how to get out of this part of it, because it just won't, I can't figure out how to get out of this part. Once I do that, because I'm stuck in the Zoom, and I can't figure out how to get out of it. The Zoom deal here, Zoom settings. I don't want to do that. I want to get out of the whole screen mode. And escape doesn't work. If I can, and I can't pull this down or over. Doggone it, I hate when this happens. And I just can't remember how to get out of it. We're going home, that's not working. We're closing that down, that's not working. Let's do this. Let's see if we can close it like that. Can I minimize it? Only that, of course. Can I minimize up here? I bet I can. Nope. Lock screen, log out, Jeff Daugherty. Oh my. I just can't remember what I need to do. I can't remember what I need to do. So anyway, let me talk about window. Bring all to front. That didn't work. Window, go, view, show view options. That didn't help me either. But anyway, let me talk about who I think, and I know there's an easy way to get out of this. I just can't remember how to do it. But anyway, let me talk about who I think as you look at my, there we go, bam, I figured it out. That was rather embarrassing. So let's take your questions first, and then I'll talk about who I think built these things. Let's go back and get your questions. All right. Don't get me started on the Georgia Guidestones. Let's keep it focused, guys. Good, get your rods, you'll like them. Just send me a Lit T, just send me an email, and we'll talk about getting you some counseling or talk. Does anyone know who commissioned the stones? We're going to talk about that, Big Teddy. I guess there could be something underground. I don't think so, but there could be something underground. All right, more likes. Yeah, that'd be great. Is there an energy vortex? Now that's an interesting question, Lit T. I had my dividing rods with me, and as I walked around the Georgia Guidestones, like in a circle around, they were glued right to the stones. No matter where I walked, they stayed glued right to the stones. So there is some type of an energetic, emanation there at the Guidestones. So is Jeff right about who he thinks created the Georgia Guidestones? That's a yes. And we're going to go talk about it. Oh, we'll never get rid of the beaver. Yeah, Lit T says she didn't even know they exist when she lived there. Oh, thank you, Lit T. I salute you very much for that. Thank you for that support. Let's see if there's any other questions. April enjoyed the live at the Guidestones. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for the donation so I can travel. March 22, like 322 Skull and Bones. That's a good point. Let's see. Tweeted, we'll see if it breaks my shadow banning. I don't know what that means. Human sacrifice, and the stain looks like a body. Someone did a view to, no, it wasn't. Life Blender, I say no to it being a human sacrifice. Of course, I don't know for sure, but I would say nay on that unless it was proven to me. Let's ask the rods. I think you're going to get a no. Was there a human sacrifice on top of the Georgia Guidestones? And we got a no. I'm going to have to move this. Sorry, we'll probably get a little bit of a shadow. Was there a human sacrifice at the Georgia Guidestones? No, I don't think there was, but, you know, you're welcome to your opinions, obviously. And I welcome you sharing your opinions. Bigfoot. Can a pole shift agenda? My question about these is why out in the middle of nowhere? I'll talk about that, Jay. How many places can handle such a large stone carving? Well, that's kind of granite country, so wouldn't surprise me. Is it actually stone? No, it is actually granite, Mercury Messenger. So good question. It's not rebar rust. It's actually granite, and I don't believe there's any rebar in them. There's slabs of granite, solid slabs of granite. Thank you. Those are pretty good picks. They are huge. They are huge. What's in the time capsules? Anybody's guess? Anybody's guess? Excuse me. Somebody did graffiti them, but it was fixed. Was it stained purposely to create a conspiracy theory? Maybe. Yeah, that is granite country. There's a lot of granite in that area. So here is my theory of them. I don't think it's Ted Turner. And I don't think it's Ted Turner because, well, let's go ahead and say this. Did Ted Turner put up the Georgia Guidestones? No. I don't think it was Ted Turner because everything that Ted Turner ever does, he does for publicity. And there's no reason to put those stones up out there where they are because you'll get no publicity from it. It's not on the way to anywhere. People aren't going to go there and just happen to be going by and say, hey, let's take a look at those things. There's no way that if you're trying to get publicity, you're going to put those stones up out there in the middle of nowhere. And if you're Ted Turner, you're all about the publicity. So I say no to Ted Turner doing it again. And let's again say, did Ted Turner put up the Georgia Guidestones? And the rods say no. This one got bent somehow. Granite does have a lot of energy, so maybe there's a reason why it came. Thor Anderson has cut trees in Elberton. So he's been out there. So I don't think it was Ted Turner. I can't think of any reason that a group would put those things up there unless the spot where they are is of some special interest to some group. Something special had to happen on that spot. And as you research that area, nothing special has ever really happened there. However, there is a man that is the head or was the head of a group of Americans that are not happy with the government. They are a group of Americans that want smaller government. They're a group of Americans that want less government. They're a group of Americans that want religious freedom. They're a group of Americans that, or at least a founding group of Americans that would like to just be left alone and know the taxpayers didn't pay for this, Anya. This person paid for them. So if you look at the writings and you look at the style of the writings, you look at the style of the building, and you figure what happened at that spot that would make anybody want to put up a monument. There's a little story that says that that spot in Elberton, Georgia, is the first place was the landing spot on planet Earth, the first landing spot on planet Earth of Zemu. Zemu, the alien lord of Scientology lore. L. Ron Hubbard and the Scientologists believe that Zemu first landed on planet Earth at that spot. And if you look at it, it is in the shape of an X, which is the first letter of Zemu. So I believe that L. Ron Hubbard and the Scientologists put up the Georgia Guidestones to mark the place that they believe that Zemu first landed on planet Earth. I believe it marks the place where Zemu is actually spelled with an X, Jonna. I don't think that Zemu and Lamb are the same, but they could be, couldn't they? Because L. Ron Hubbard, LRH, was helping Jack Parsons bring in Lamb. But if Lamb and Zemu were the same, they probably would have put the Guidestones up in LA, because Crowley and Hubbard opened a portal and in came, they think, Lamb. So in my opinion, and this is just an opinion, I think it's a learned opinion. I think it's a good opinion. I don't know if Tom Cruise paid for it, but he had probably a hand in paying for it. They have a lot of his money. Yeah, Tom Cruise's outfit, and I'm here in Clearwater, Florida, the headquarters of the Church of Scientology. I believe that L. Ron Hubbard and the Church of Scientology put up the Georgia Guidestones to mark the place that Zemu first landed on planet Earth. That's the only thing of note that's ever supposedly happened there. L. Ron Hubbard believed that he landed there, and they had the money to do it. They didn't make any fanfare about it. They don't promote it. They don't advertise it. It's not anything to get publicity. It's a monument. It's a memorial of an event that happened that somebody cares about but doesn't really care to publicize. That is Zemu, up one side and down the other. Lamb is a interdimensional being that Crowley could have been John Travolta, that Crowley was trying to summon and apparently did. So let's see what the rods say. And just so you know how these rods work, please show me yes. Please show me no. All right, so here we go. Did L. Ron Hubbard put up the Georgia Guidestones? Yes. Is L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology responsible for the Georgia Guidestones? Yes. Okay, cool. Did the Scientologists put up the Georgia Guidestones? Yes. Did Scientologists put up the Georgia Guidestones? Yes. Are Zemu and Crowley the same person? No. I mean, are Zemu and Lamb the same person? No. Why would they put one up in Clearwater if Zemu didn't land in Clearwater? That's my point. So yes, I believe so. And let me ask you this. Zemu, that's ridiculous. That's stupid. There's no way. You can believe in Planet X. You can believe in Bigfoot. You can believe in blue avians. You can believe in Syrians and Arcturians and Orions and Martians. You can believe in all of these things, but you can't believe that there was possibly a being called Zemu that might have landed at the place of the Georgia Guidestones. I believe Ron Hubbard believes that he landed there. And why is it so impossible that he did? Maybe there was a being that called himself Zemu. Or maybe there was a being that convinced Ron Hubbard that he was named Zemu, and he really landed there. Stranger things have happened. I think Zemu could have landed there. I don't know who Zemu is. I don't know what Zemu is. I'm not a Scientologist. Don't want to be one. Have never been one. Not going to be one. But I believe that Zemu could have landed at that spot. Should we do it? Should we do it? Somebody ban. I'm going to ban this guy right now. My own banning. Hope I can ban. Remove. Hide user on this channel. Bye-bye. Perfect. Okay. So let's ask, should we ask? Sure, let's do it. Can you prove that Zemu didn't land there? No. I'm going to do it. I'm going to ask. Did Zemu, another awesome broadcast coming straight at you from Jeff's Coldwater, Florida studio, Clearwater. And we're going to do another one out there by the, another one out there by the deal. Okay, here we go. Did Zemu land on the site of the Georgia Guidestones? Yes. Did Zemu land on the site of the Georgia Guidestones? Is Zemu a real entity? Okay, so it's saying that Zemu is a real entity. Are Tulpe real entities? See? Are ghosts real? See? So in that same thing, Zemu could have been an alien. Is Zemu truly an extraterrestrial? Yes. So Zemu did come from beyond this planet. Is the story about Zemu correct? No. Okay. That should make some of you feel better. Was L. Ron Hubbard totally right about Zemu? No. You ready for this one? Was L. Ron Hubbard totally wrong about Zemu? No. There you go. Was Lamb real? Doesn't want to answer about Lamb. Was Zemu an extra-dimensional being? No. Was Zemu an extraterrestrial being? Yes. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So I say Zemu did land on the spot of the Georgia Guidestones. The rods say that Zemu did land on the spot of the Georgia Guidestones. So who knows, folks? Somewhere back in history that we can't record or history that we've forgotten, there was a lonely little space alien named Zemu. And he came soaring into planet Earth. And as he approached planet Earth, this is what he saw. And as he got closer and closer, he said, where am I going to land this ship? I think I'm going to land here. And he just came in, and there he was. He landed right there by those trees. So there he did. Yes, it would have been before Christ's time. Absolutely. Yes, he did land before Christ's time. Somebody said, why are you wearing a scarf? I'm wearing a scarf because I think it helps my throat. And I believe that from now on, when I speak, I'm going to wear a scarf. I'm not always going to wear a red one, but I'm going to wear a scarf. Yes, really, in Elberton, Georgia. So I was told that within 24 hours, if I wore a scarf, I'd be completely healed. I'm pretty close, and I haven't actually been wearing it for the full 24 hours. So there you go. And Thor says, I wear the shit out of this scarf. Oops. You're not supposed to cuss on YouTube anymore. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Zemu. What's the story of Zemu? Zemu was an evil galactic. He was an evil galactic overlord. And he brought a bunch of people to Earth. And it would be awkward with soup. He brought a bunch of trapped souls to Earth and basically dumped them off. I don't see Amanda here tonight, but it was like Australia. He dumped them off, these bad beings, these bad souls. He dumped them off into volcanoes. And when these volcanoes erupted, all of these bad entities were released. And all the problems that we have are because these entities are attaching themselves to us. And the task of a person that believes in Scientology is to rid themselves of these attaching entities. No, Wendy, I will not take it off. You can beg me to strip, Wendy, but I won't do it. So that's the story of Zemu. That's the story of Zemu. I believe that Zemu landed. Yes, he was an extraterrestrial. Oh, was Zemu from another planet? Yes. Does Zemu now live underground on our Earth? No. Yes, I'm not opening up right now for you to ask Rod questions. That is Rod's story, yes. That's Ron's story, LRH. Is Inky and Enlil a true story? Is the story of Inky and Enlil true? No. I think you want do you want the red pill or the blue pill? I can't remember. But it's funny you asked that because I ordered a couple of blue scarves because blue, it represents the throat chakra, if there is such a thing. So anyway, is White Lion's boss a reptilian? It says yes. Is White Lion's boss a reptilian? It said yes twice. Wow. Oh, there's Ashlyn, and I met Ashlyn at the Guidestones. Hi, Ashlyn. Good to see you. And her son. Did a man named Molinex build the Guidestones? Says no. Did a man named Molinex build the Guidestones? No, very emphatically. Is our son dying? No. Are the pyramids in Orkney and Caithness, Scotland, Egyptian in origin? No. White Lion says she knew that her boss was. Is there an agenda behind Trump's presidency? Well, of course there's an agenda, but the Rods didn't say Ron's story is false. They said that everything he says about Zemu isn't true, but not everything he says about Zemu isn't true. White Lion saw her boss shapeshift at work the other day. Did someone I know try to break into the warehouse, Iowa X? No. Are the pyramids a means of energy? No. Is the sun a portal? Lit T, do you really want me to ask that question? All right. Is her husband to be trusted? No. Is her husband soulless? No. Is her husband to be trusted? No. Does her husband have a soul? Yes, he does have a soul, but he's not to be trusted. Are wormholes a portal to another dimension? Yes. We are all a little bit reptilian, so maybe we should be a little more precise in our questioning. Good one, Dean Winchester. Is there a higher society of being in Earth that we can't see but live it here in a higher dimension now? What Matcha said. Yes. If you grew up in K Ultra and you knew about the stones. Were the Georgia Guidestones built by the Rothschilds? No. Will Callie's health situation get better? Yes. Ooh, I don't want to ask this question. Do psychedelics, I'm going to ask, Can psychedelics at times help with human spirituality? Yes. Is White Lion's boss, great question, is White Lion's boss a benevolent reptilian? Yes. Is White Lion's boss a bad reptilian? No. Was there a sacrifice, a blood sacrifice at the Georgia Guidestones? Yes. Was there a human sacrifice at the Georgia Guidestones? No. Expanding the process, they feel like you're testing them. They don't want to answer that. Zemu apparently didn't see that the AI population would become a problem. Oh, here's a good question. Does LA have a reptilian population underground? Yes. Will Michelle work at the job she interviewed for on Friday? Yes. Was there a civilization on Mars? Yes. Ooh. Was a pig sacrificed at the Georgia Guidestones? Yes. How did you come out with that? Was a pig sacrificed at the Georgia Guidestones? Yes. Can she get safely out? Yes. Is the agenda behind the Trump presidency bad? No. Excuse me. Interesting. Are there reptoids under the Getty Museum? No. Oh, there's lots of pig farms in the same area. I see. Logic. Miss Murphy, watch Leak Project. They have lots of stuff. Okay. Yeah, Leak Project's a great channel. Can my girlfriend be trusted? Says no. Can his girlfriend be trusted? And that's a strong no. It's like a boom, no, no, hell no. This is silliness. Is Trump the frog god? No, of course not. That was all. Let me tell you how that whole thing started. The whole thing with Trump and the frog started like this, and this is just the very simple truth. Hillary called the people that supported Trump deplorables. Somebody did a spoof movie poster with the Expendables, put the deplorables, and on one of the faces, they put a frog. That's how the whole Trump frog thing got started. It's got nothing to do with Keck. All it has to do with is the deplorable thing and Trump trying to capitalize on Hillary putting her foot in her mouth. Thank you, Mercury Messenger. They work by reading energies. Does the frog god rule 4chan? No. Is the name that came to me the name of my real father? No. I can't ask that, Marie. I'm sorry, but I see his eyes do this thing constantly. Oh, here we go with that. Is the influenza A virus a part of the depopulation agenda? No. What else you got? I take apple cider vinegar every day. I got off of my regimen, and that's how I got sick. So I'm back on my regimens again. Rooney says hello to everyone. Is there a dragon? Is there a dragon chained under the Vatican? No, but that's a great question. Come here, Rooney. Let everybody see out. Let everybody see you. Come here. Come here. Oh, here he is, the official mascot of NCK, the Christian Whistleblower, Jeff Daugherty Show, Gospel Truth Program. Rooney Tooney, the baby cat. Yeah. There he is. Say hello to everyone. They want to see you. Say hello. There he is. There he is. Say hello. You going to say goodbye to everyone now? So there he is. I missed a couple questions. Are McDonald's chicken nuggets safe to eat? No. Are any of the records from the Library of Alexandria under the Vatican? Yes, I think they burned most of them. Catterday. Is Pope Francis the last pope? No. Is human evolution true? No. Is there a dragon of large size somewhere on Earth? Yes. Is there life on the moon? Yes. Is there a dragon in space? Yes. Is Yahweh a dragon? Yes. Did the chicken come before the egg? It's saying, please don't ask me stupid questions. Is it a human dragon? Kind of, sort of. Is there a human dragon? Kind of, sort of. That's a weird one. Is the moon a dragon egg? No. Will the American government fall in my lifetime? No. Interesting. Are there any living aliens? Are there any living extraterrestrials in Antarctica? Says yeah. Are we all fallen angels? No. Will there be a dragon that rises? Yes. Okay, here's an interesting one. Is there any living real dinosaurs in the outback of Australia? Says no. Is there a large hollow area in the earth? Yes. Is there a portal in the Georgia Guidestones? No. That's interesting. Are there human slaves on the moon? No. Are Rh negative people aliens? No. Very strong no. Okay, a couple more quick questions and we'll end this charade. No, Obama's not the Antichrist. I won't even ask that. Ooh, this is a good one. Is there a bunker under the Georgia Guidestones? No. Is the earth a soul farm? Yes. Is Jeff wearing a blue scarf? No. Is Nigel Worsley wearing pants right now? Won't answer. Is Anya wearing pants right now? It won't answer. Come on. Can't have any fun. Is Jeff wearing pants right now? Yes, he is. Okay, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. We're not sure about who all's wearing pants, but we're pretty sure about everything else. That was fun. I'll answer that. I'll ask that one. Will Jeff ever use the crystal ball? Yes. Who was the first one that asked that? Shoot, somebody asked, am I wearing pants right now? Who was the first one? Somebody's testing the rods. Is Michelle Cannon Free wearing pants right now? It says no. Tell us if you're wearing pants or not, Michelle. Inquiring minds want to know, and then we're out of here. Is Michelle wearing pants right now? She's not. The rods were right. How about that? She's not. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great night. TMI, Michelle. I know you got everybody thinking. She says she's just wearing an oversized tee. But thanks for that, and thanks for proving the rods right. This was fun. It's fun because all of you are here to make it fun. All of you, pants or no pants, nice to see you here. Nice for you guys to be here. I enjoyed it very much. I hope some of you came over from Twitter and Facebook. And we will be back again. I don't know if we'll be back tonight or not, but we'll be back again very soon with more broadcast excellence. Thanks to all the participation. It should be covered when not in use, but it's in use right now because it's part of the show. I cover it up when it's not in. Dean Winchester says, good night, all of you pantless ladies. I think we're going to have the show with Wayne tomorrow unless something comes up. But yeah, I think we have the show with Wayne tomorrow. I haven't seen that we don't have the show with Wayne tomorrow. So if we don't have the show with Wayne tomorrow, we'll have a show just the same. I'm Jeffrey Darty, the Christian Whistleblower, saluting all of you for being here, seeking after truth, encouraging you to guide your own spirits, master your own ascension, be your own guru. And that's true. It is proof the rods aren't a joke. Thank you, Mercury Messenger. And ladies and gentlemen, unindoctrinate yourselves.